You can find the work of our next speaker on Slate's culture blog, Browbeat, where she writes things that make Fox News anchors' hair stand on end. Please welcome Aisha Harris.
I hope you all like my hair tonight. I did it especially for you. Thank you. So I feel like hair envy is one of those things that only women can truly understand. Guys are kind of like, I don't understand. Like, why do you care about your hair? But I think every woman, most if not all women, have gone through periods of time where like they hate their hair, and I've gone through probably longer periods than most women have. My hair journey actually begins with a little movie that's probably still one of my favorites, The Little Mermaid. I was introduced to it probably when I was about 2 or 3 years old, and I just wanted Ariel's hair. And it wasn't so much like the fiery red color, like I knew that wouldn't look at all right on me. It was mostly like the long flowing locks and the way like it had its own life and would just like, in the water would just like move like this. Even when she was just like floating still, it'd just be like, And one particular moment was especially pivotal in my life. It's the moment right after Ursula turns her fins into legs, and she like swims, and it's after Poor Unfortunate Souls, and the music is like swelling, and she goes like that. And you can't get the full effect unless you actually watch it, so. She's naked too, yeah. So epic. So very epic. I reenacted that moment probably everywhere I possibly could. The pool, the bathtub, the ocean when we're at the beach, and the shower. And if you see my hair, it doesn't really look like that, and it doesn't do that when it gets wet. When I was younger, my hair was also kind of like this, but my mom braided it. And as soon as it touched the water, just go up in a big blob. So I really wanted it. And I also wanted to reenact it with a doll, but my dad would not buy me any white dolls because he didn't want me to want hair like that. Interestingly enough, most of the black dolls that existed had long, flowy hair. They were basically just white dolls painted black with white features, with the exception of Addie, whose hair was also kind of long and flowy, but kind of felt like mine. So there was really no alternative. So what I would do, and this is very slightly embarrassing, I would play with tissue and pretend that it was Ariel. And so I'd pull the hair back like this. This was her hair, and it was long and flowy. And all the other characters were invisible, so I'd reenact the entire movie. Then when it came time for her to turn into a human, I'd rip the bottom part. And then she had legs. So my dad's attempt at instilling black is beautiful in me was slightly curtailed by The Little Mermaid. It was also curtailed by the fact that I went to a predominantly white school with other white girls who would question my hair and be like, how often do you wash it? And why does it feel like that? And what happens when it gets wet? So that would also feed into, I did dance competition. And the thing that strikes me now thinking back is that we were going for this singular aesthetic whenever we performed, and the hair, no matter if it was curly, straight, whether you're black or white, like it had to all look the same. And there's I remember at least one number in particular, where we had to wear these awful like Shirley Temple like ponytails that looked like this. And none of them looked real, but we all had to wear them. We were like 10 years old, kind of looked like beauty pageant stuff, and it was awful. And I feel like within performance, this feeds into the way we look at Hollywood and black actors in particular. There's this unspoken need to conform within black Hollywood. Most black actresses, especially prominent black actresses, do not wear their natural hair, whether it's for a role or in public. One prime example is Kerry Washington, who started her career wearing her hair shorter and curlier. This is still from Save the Last Dance. And in the last 5 to 10 years, she's worn her hair straighter and more flowing. And this is not to say that this is a bad thing. I don't want to bash having long and flowing hair because I had straight hair for 10 to 12 years of my life. But it is telling the fact that as her career has ascended, her hair has gotten straighter and she doesn't really rock the short curly fro anymore. There are exceptions. Older actresses in particular tend to go, I think, maybe through a phase where they're like, fuck it, I don't care anymore. Angela Bassett and Viola Davis have easily switched between having their hair long and having it shorter or more natural, if you want to call it that. And another notable example is Whoopi Goldberg, who, for most of her career, if you think about Whoopi Goldberg, like, you don't think of her hair as it is in Ghost. You think of it like she started out with the dreads in her natural hair. She has it now. And I think part of that might be the fact that she started off as a comedian, and it was less about her being a straight performer as opposed to, like, I need to be funny and I don't care what I look like. Plus, she has no eyebrows, so, I mean... She really is, like, I think, a great person for girls, especially black women, to kind of look up to and admire. So I straightened my hair for about 10 to 12 years, decided not to do it anymore, mostly just not out of this, like, I need to prove my blackness, but mostly because it just got too expensive and got really frustrating to deal with. And I've had a lot of women comment on my hair now, and people touch it, even though I don't want them to. And even white women or black women, it doesn't matter who, and Asian women even have come up to me and say, I love your hair. I want your hair. And I'm like, that's weird because I've always wanted someone else's hair, but now you want my hair. And even when I started cutting my hair and left it the way, like, left it natural. And by the way, this is what I looked like when I was a kid, and this is what I look like now. So I went back to, like, being myself, I guess. But even when I was going through the process, like, I wanted my hair to look a little bit more like Tracee Ellis Ross's, who is the daughter of Diana Ross and is an actress. And she has beautiful hair, but, like, my hair is never going to look like that. We have different textures, and I think it's all about embracing that. So I'll leave you with this great quote that Tracee Ellis Ross has said, and she started a hair love campaign because she realized that lots of women envy other women's hair. So the quote is, I don't want you to want my hair. The reason I don't want you to want my hair is I'm of the school of love what you got. For me, the reason why my hair was such a battle is because I was trying to make it something it wasn't. I wanted the hair that somebody else had. So basically, I think we should not take all of our cues from pop culture, even though there are many great examples of hairstyles that we might want to emulate. It took me a long time to get through the journey of loving my hair, and Little Mermaid didn't help, but I think it also somehow inspired me to wear my hair the way it is now, and I'm very happy that way. So, thank you.
Aisha Harris.